Alright, so here I am on the Boone Fork Trail. Oh, rock hopping nonetheless. That's what happens when you wander aimlessly along the trail trying to get your camera working, and then all of a sudden you encounter an obstacle that you weren't planning on filming. So, you know, here we go. I used to run this when I was in college. I'll be honest, I don't remember all this stuff. Jennifer and I have been out here once or twice and hiked this together too. Oh my. Oh. Which maybe I was a little more spry when I was in college. Perhaps. So I think I just passed the like 2.5 mile marker or something like that. I'll actually be leaving the trail here in maybe another mile or so, maybe less, or maybe a little more. I don't really remember. But beautiful, calm, peaceful. And yeah, not too hard. A little bit up, a little bit of down, a little bit of rocky. Altogether, a really cool trail. One thing I'm going to miss is the beaver areas on the other side. It's going to turn off, I believe, before I get to that. But here it is. Alright, so this is day 18, day 17 yesterday. Took off and we had to move the camper there just on the campground. Unfortunately, the spot that we had picked out at Julian Price campground, I thought it had enough room for the camper based on what I read online, but it did not. So yeah, that was just a straight up no-go once we rode in there and looked at it. Fortunately, we did that the day before instead of driving up there with the camper and being really disappointed, or Jennifer driving it, which was the original plan. And I will say for Jennifer, she definitely took a hit today because she's going to have to do an hour plus camper move today with just her and the girls. And I guess she did that mainly so I could spend time with them yesterday. I took them out on Price Lake. We went canoeing, and once they kind of got the hang of the canoeing, we went we got the fishing poles and we went fishing, and Peyton caught her first fish. I was pretty excited about that. It was a little brim bluegill about the size of her hand. We threw that fishing pole in there, and that fish threw the lure in, and that fish grabbed right onto it and ran off with it. And like, reel it in. So anyways, that was a good time. Got a little bit of sunburn on the legs here, but you know, it is what it is. And yeah, I'm gonna make for about 19 miles today. I think I'm heading to the Goshen Creek campsite. Be able to confirm that a little bit later, but that's what I remember seeing in the plan when I looked at it most recently. And I think it would be prudent for me to get both hands back on trekking poles, and yes, I did remember them, before I fall and bust my rear end. I'm about to cross the creek here again. Yeah, I'm really not sure how I ran this when I was in college, but definitely some little water holes down here to play in. Still really don't remember there being this much water beside the trail when I was in college, but sometimes our memories don't serve us as well, and I don't know, maybe I didn't care about it as much then. Usually colder when we got in here anyways. We're here during the summer a whole lot, so you can see, you know, if it was January, I wouldn't be very interested in the water. Stairs. Got a little bit of a rhododendron tunnel going on here. Alright, I've passed through a number of stiles so far. That is the first one I've had to climb over. Oh. Definitely had to put down the trekking poles for that. Looks like I'm going to be following this road for a little while now. I'm scared I was going to have to climb the mountain over there. I've already climbed a lot of it. I guess I shouldn't be scared of mountain climbing at this point, should I? Alright, so I followed a little cow trail up here and just opened up into this pasture with a great view. Cows got it made up here. Never know what you'll find, which I've seen enough cow patties to suspect there were cows around here. Hello. Oh my. Oh, there's more. There's a little bitty one. Oh yeah, there's several of them laying down over there. Well, I found the cows. And the calves. Alright, I met an older gentleman out hiking a few minutes ago, and he said that, I can't remember, I think he said that the next little bit is easy / I have it made or something like that. So, yeah. Definitely could not say that about some of the other sections. Definitely had a pretty strong climb in the rich mountain area. They're crossing over Shoals Mill Road and then going up the hill there. That was pretty rough. The best I can remember, there's another like Rich Knob or something around. Seems like a lot of the names, you have to be really specific about geographically where you're at, because a lot of the names repeat. Things like Laurel Hill or Laurel Mountain or Fork Mountain, Deep Gap. Seems like I've seen that in multiple different places. So just because you have, even Boone Fork, just because you have a name and you search it, doesn't mean you're going to go to the one you want to go to. So you have to look at maps and look at what's around it and make sure that's the place you want to be. Alright, so this is kind of a cool feature. Got a little, this should maybe call it a pond here. Water's coming in from the stream there, and they just got it dammed up a little bit. I think what I'm on now is an old carriage road from the Cone Manor Park or Cone Park or whatever they call it. This has been extremely easy walking. I guess back in the day it would have been pretty easy walking for the horses pulling carriages around. Said that they have 25 miles of trails, and if they're all like this, I can see how you could get carried away walking, like some of the people I heard talking to one of the interpretive rangers at the carriage house yesterday. Alright, I'm coming up on the edge of the trout lake. It's beautiful out there. Alright, here's a little better view of the trout lake. I'm down here by the spillway. Alright, so this this tunnel goes under the Blue Ridge Parkway and takes me over to the Cone Manor. Alright, so I've been cruising down this road here, path, whatever you want to call it, trail maybe. Definitely a lot nicer than, at least a lot easier walking than single track. It's pretty cool that we got a trail that connects the Cone House to Blowing Rock, and I know this passes right behind, more or less right behind the Chitola Resort, and like Tanger Outlets and stuff there. And I know I saw some horses in front of me heading down this way too. So presumably there's somewhere to stable the horses, maybe even Chitola. I think they did that, but I don't recall. Been there once. Jennifer and I went there for a mommy-daddy getaway at one point, but we did not do any horse riding. I think they have stables there. Won't swear to it though. Anyways, yeah, I've just been cruising along. Not really sure why, but my left foot is kind of trying to go numb a little bit, and that's pretty much been all day. Or excuse me, not my left foot, my right foot. My left foot is strangely behaving today. So yeah, if it works, I'm going to keep hiking. So there you go. All right, we'll keep moving. So the sign says that I'm not supposed to feed or touch the horses. This one seems very friendly. Either that or it wants me to open the gate. Not sure. The other one's kind of ignoring me. So, yeah. Alright, friends. Y'all have a nice day. Well, it doesn't look like there's any connector trails going over to Tanger or Chitola. If there were, I definitely missed them where they'd turn off at. It did look like there were some, I guess you'd say, like almost stable-like, or at least horses in the pasture up the hill in some kind of private area. So I'm following this dirt road out to the highway, and then I'm going to hike up the highway a little bit, get on the parkway, and then I'll get back on the trail. Now, one thing that has been a cool feature of hiking this trail and putting up some of the high mileage numbers that I have is that I've had multiple times now that I've had multiple encounters with people in the same day. I don't think I've had anybody where I bumped into them multiple times, different days. But anyways, the older gentleman I mentioned speaking to earlier today, there was a younger man hiking with him too, and I just had a truck honk at me and say, "Hey, Will," and it appeared to be the younger gentleman that was in the driver's seat of that one, so that was kind of neat. Just passed through a stile. I'm out here in a field or something. Alright, so far segment 5 reminds me a lot of segment 3 in that it's playing a whole lot of tag with the parkway. Has some ups and downs going up and down away from the parkway. Maybe not as much as segment 3, but very rarely have I been more than just a few hundred yards away from the parkway on segment 5. And I think it's more or less going to continue like that the entire segment. Throughout all of this, I'm maintaining an attitude of thankfulness to my wife for enabling me to be a through hiker of this trail. Because without her helping with the logistics, it would have been very difficult for me to do this. Certainly to do it legally. Following all the regulations and everything. But she's given up her summer too to make this happen. And getting up early and taking me places and dropping me off and going and picking me up. I know it's been a lot of work for her. If you've ever wanted to get out and hike in the livestock fields, segment 5 just might be for you. I've been over so many stalls today, I've really forgotten how many I've crossed. There are cows out here. I don't know where they're at. They're out here somewhere. Or at least it hasn't been long since they've been here. There's evidence. I think this is the field they said there was a donkey in that might accost dogs. I don't know if accost is the right word, but donkeys are territorial, y'all. So, beautiful out here, and thanks to whoever's done the trail maintenance on this recently, because I can say with a great deal of certainty that walking through high grass is no fun, and walking through high grass is even less fun when it's wet. I just want to comment that I've been able to hear the whistle, presumably from Tweetsy Railroad, for, I don't know, like 5 miles. I mean, it's, I guess, between Blowing Rock and Boone, and I'm kind of hiking along parallel to that right now, so, you know, not surprising, but definitely something you might hear off in the distance if you hike the MST segment 5 during their season. Alright, here we are at the Goshen Creek backcountry site, H2. Walk into the site here and definitely got a down tree across it. Kind of rocky here, and pitched my tent as far up in here as I could under a still hanging on hemlock tree here. Now, the thing that I take issue with in this site, more so than the pretty dismal ground conditions, the spot my tent is at is actually not bad, but the rest of this is pretty terrible. Like if somebody else came in here to camp tonight, they would not get a very good campsite. The problem that I really have with this is there's a dead tree here, one with the Park Service boundary marker on it, another dead tree there behind it, another dead tree, small one there, and then a fairly large dead tree up here. That's the other reason to push the tent as far back that way as possible. So, I don't know, maybe I'm asking too much here, but some trail maintenance that I would appreciate would be, as just a person that, well, I may never camp here again, but for future campers, I'm sure they would probably feel better if those trees were taken down, the dead ones, that is. Yeah. Anyways, so from this campsite, I can hear the parkway clearly, and I heard somebody mowing their grass earlier. And I can hear the creek, which I'm going to go get some water from here in just a moment. Oh, by the way, it's like 9 or 10 miles to the next campsite. Alright, day 18 wrap-up video. So, got in the 19 miles today is what the GPS said, and it's basically what the trail guide said I was supposed to get today too. All in all, aside from some just kind of weird stuff going on, the tingling or almost going to sleep feeling in my right foot, nothing really to speak of today. Relatively fast hiking. Just the trails and surfaces and everything were pretty easy going today. No rain. We're currently 8 out of 18 days for rain, and yeah. Let's see. I'll say today was the day of livestock, maybe. Went through a lot of styles. I think I'll go through a lot tomorrow too, but there's a lot of cool stuff along the way. I was looking ahead at the trail guide, and tomorrow's a big day, 24 miles, actually maybe 24 and a half. So I'm going to try and get up early, or at least get up and get started early, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll settle down more or less here. Got a couple more things to do before bed, and hoping to lay down before it gets dark. Be nice.